Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm here with another DZBT profile, and this time I'll be covering the upgraded Grade 4 Magnolia build. So we do have new support from DZBT01 that make the deck a lot more efficient on doing what it's supposed to do and getting to Grade 4 a lot faster. Have to say, it did make the deck better, but I think the deck is still kind of lacking something that is very impactful to actually compete with decks with divine skills, and we don't have a lot of choices to do together. For example, we can only use one regular piece, so if we use Forbital, which is most likely going to happen in most grade 4 decks, because we actually need to find a grade 4 somehow, and then we can't use the Angel Letter. And Angel Letter is something that protects you from a lot of threats in the meta that will keep popping your regards, control your regards, or do anything that just you don't want to see to your regards while your deck is a regard heavy deck. So it's still lacking something, lacking some kind of good protections. Hopefully we can see more supports, because for now we do have a new outline that allows you to look at top 3, call a grade 2 or lower normal unit, and the rest go to the drop zone or go to the bottom of the deck, so you can like see those things later. If you put it to the bottom, if you put to the drop, then you can reborn them later. The grade 2 allows you to Soul Blast 1 to grab a grade 3 basically, or a grade 3 or higher, so if you ditch a grade 4 you can do that, pick that up as well, or normal orders. So that kind of let you reuse the resources that you use during, like, you basically drop for your right line. So it is way better because the random part actually decreased. So I think it is good to see new red lines, and I'm hoping Soger can also get a new and better red line. Not that the old one is bad, but then it's same as Magnolia, the deck is since set 1, so we are hoping to actually see something different. Now going to the main deck, first I'm running 4 of the Magnolia Elder because it is what is key. Unfortunately for grade 4s we don't get the personal icon, so we won't get the benefit from personal writing, and with Magnolia Elder you don't actually get a very big pop-up, but then as a change you can simply just attack with your regards and intercept with them from the back row, which is quite nice, but like I keep saying, unfortunately the power level isn't there, because there are a lot of decks that are hitting you for over 23k with like 4 to 5 punches, while your most basic attacks is like 13, 18 still. So that is still a 1 card guard, and that's why you don't see much pressure while we are in a very kind of defensive meta right now. We do have rush decks, but then we do have a lot of different defensive options, and I use this against a dull deck, and it's very tough, because when you are swinging them for 18k, they have 5k dull, 5k shield dull. In the binding zone they put it down there, is a 10k shield, and that's it. They don't even need to use their hand. So in the past, while we don't have this kind of extra resources on defending, Magnolia Elder can still kind of cheat out your opponent's hand by having a lot of attacks. But now it's harder. But because I have played against that matchup, then I think if you aren't fighting the dolls, then you still have a chance to, like, fighting against your opponent's resources with your number of attacks, and you just need to do it with a good sequence, with a good math, and knowing what to do. like which to attack first, and just trying to survive while you keep getting your resources and keep taking resources from the opponent. So it's very important, and you can see what makes this happen to the deck list. Now and then we get the Grade 4 support, because I'm running a Grade 4 deck, so I think that is a very important card. Not to mention that it is a simple 15k shield as a Grade 3. That is already very big, because sometimes when you are playing a deck that is very heavy on Grade 2 or higher units, you need some kind of shield value, because those supposed to have no shield value. And as long as you have a Grade 4 in hand, or if you are already on Grade 4, then this is at least a 15k shield. And then it can pick you up something from your drop zone if you call it the Vanguard Circle when you have a Grade 4 in hand or on your Vanguard Circle. That's another thing that you can reuse. For example, you can ditch your Grade 4 and then pick it back up because it's a Grade 2 or higher that is not the same unit with this card. Or you can reuse any of your Grade 2 units. And then, of course, when you going to ditch a card to use your right deck to get into your Grade 3 Magnolia, if you discard this card, you can actually draw one card back. So there are a lot of uses of this card, but most of the time I'm keeping it as a 15k shield because it really matters. It really matters. And because of that, I'm only running 2 of the Inner Pulse, so I have more room for the shield value and the flexibility on here, and while I'm maxing out my Magnolia Elder. Because like in the past 80k is a very good number, but now it's not that great. It isn't bad, but it's not that great. Even though Inlet Pulse can let you draw a card, but then do remember it's a card without shield value, so before you actually get into your Grade 3s, this card is a burden to you. And in the past, we can actually use the multiple attacks to kind of actually grind a lot of resources very, very fast, but now it's a lot harder. So even though it's a good card, and it's also quite easy to reuse it with this, because if you put this into your soul, you just need soul blast one and pick it back up easy. So there's no need to actually like max out Inner Pulse anymore, in my opinion. The draw is great, but we do have a lot of different ways to draw cards while being more efficient on our attacks. Let's put it that way. But if you are making use of Inner Pulse with Ginosla, then of course it's still a very good numbers if you can actually pull this off and then going to draw in the card while filling your souls. That definitely is something that is still workable, but it's something that I care a little bit less while trying to keep a lot more shield value in hand on board, because this will go away and it has no shield value at all. So my focus is putting on shield value a lot more, and then I draw a lot of cards. Now next is the new cards, Silverhorn Beast Banaspati. So this is like a kind of like a lion card. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle other than during the battle phase, so you can't use it to basically generate more attacks than you want. The number of attacks is still fixed, maximum 6 so far. Then you can Color Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1, choose one of a Vanguard with Silverhorn Beast in the card name for every 2 grades of that unit. So Grade 3 means 1, Grade 4 means 2. Choose a Grade 3 or less card with a different card name from this unit and from a drop and call it to Vanguard Circle. So if you go to Grade 4, this by Color Blasting 1 and Soul Blasting 1, you will get 2 units out. And then when this unit attacks, choose one of the Vanguard with Silverhorn Beast in the card name, and again, for every 2 grades of that unit, this unit will get plus 5k until end of the battle. So grade 3 means plus 5, grade 4 means plus 10. And then if you go to grade 4, that means it's a constant 25k beater. It's not bad, but the thing with Magnolia is always stay at 25, and it's just a one card guard basically. But this is a very good card because not like the support in Magnolia Mask, that even though it can bring a lot of things back, but then to do that you need to stack up that much Dragon Energy Marker, and those are all your counterblast resources. But now this, as long as you go to grade 4, it's just a counterblast 1 and soul blast 1, this, and then you get 2 units, you can do 4 attacks including your Vanguard attacks already. So it's a very valuable card in this deck. But unfortunately I don't think he is quite fitting in Magnolia Mask build, because you can only reborn 1, which means you have a lot of better options to actually do, and you can only get 5k, so this is a better support if you are actually playing for the grade 4s. And then to pick up my actual grade 4s, I'm running 2 of the Alpin and then Friendship Fairy to maximize my chances to getting to grade 4 and the speed to do so. If you are going second, Friendship Fairy is definitely a card that helps you speed right into grade 4, and Alpin is here to help you pick up a grade 4 basically, or a grade 0 normal order, because when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, if a grade 3 or higher Vanguard with Magnolia is card name, by Soul Blasting 1 and discard 1 card from your hand, search your deck or drop for up to 1 card with Magnolia that is different name to your Vanguard, or up to 1 grade 0 normal order, review it, add it to your hand, you can search your deck, shuffle deck. So if you go to grade 4, you can only pick up the grade 3, because it has to be a different name. So it's basically a, when you go to grade 3, use this to grab yourself a grade 4, use your Friendship Fairy to go into your grade 4. And this is a card that helps you to make it easier to happen, because without the Forbidol, even though I did use one of it, I can just immediately put it down here. It is very hard to see both of them at the same time. It's very hard. If you do, you're lucky, but if you're not, that is very, very bad, because I did try not to run any other Forbidol while keeping this. The thing is, I see all my Friendship Fairies, and then I see my Magnolia Elder the turn before I'm dead. And you can see how big of a problem it is, because I need to rely on Magnolia, and I have no personal at all, because this deck is trying to focus on the grade 4. So of course Forbidol is also important here to help you to grab the grade 4, but it's only 1 card, so I'm having 2 more to make it easier to happen, and that also allows you to have the luxury when you're doing Mulligan, you can put the grade 4 back to your deck, because you do have a lot of searchers, right? Unless you really have this, then you might need to actually keep 1 grade 4 in hand, or maybe if you have both, then of course you should keep them, right? But other than the speed right, unfortunately Friendship Fairy isn't going to help you at all. At least that's what I think. So after you actually secure your grade 4 right, you can just simply use it as intercept, use it as just a 15k attacker if you need to, or just drop before the guard. And then we have our little goat here. The goat is absolutely better if you are playing a Elder focused deck, because if you have a new Magnolia Vanguard appearing on Vanguard Circle, you can just put this one drop into your Vanguard Circle, into the soul, to get 5k for your Vanguard, so it can hit for 18k, which changes a lot of things. And because you get into Magnolia Elder again, that means you can directly pull this back out, and if it's attacking from the center back row, it will be a 20k base, and because these always plus 5k to units that are attacking from the back row, so you always will be a 25k beater, and once it attack, you can just pop in and draw one, and then you just keep repeating the process, keep riding Great Force, keep reborning it, keep drawing cards, and that is why I cut in a pulse, because I can constantly doing this, and this turns me into a card. Unfortunately, it can't stay as a 5k shield, which is same for Inner Pulse, but that's a lot of ways that I can keep reusing this card, no matter keep rewriting and keep putting it in soul and pulling it back out, or I can always use my raw intelligence to pull them back. So it's not something that is too hard, and because we have the Fancy Fairy to actually do a main phase ride with Magnolia, so with the Elder, so we can always use our raw intelligence while we are still on grade 3 to bring 2 units out, and then with the Fancy Fairy going into Magnolia Elder for maximizing the benefits. And then I'm using for the Alpin. Alpin is definitely very key in this deck still, because it's so easy to gain the power buff, and it gives you the counter charge and soul charge that we all love to see. We all think it is needed in the deck, because without the counter charge, we might not be able to do the full combo, and we might have to use a lot of resources beforehand to set up a good board to get the speed ride going on. And then if we don't have a way to like counter charge and soul charge, we might not be able to do the rest of the stuff. But at the same time, we have to do the things before so that we can get to a better stage. So I think Alpin is still need to max out here, so that's why it's 4. And then ending with the PGs, nothing much to say there. If you want to use the Playstyle, as I always say, you can do that, but I think in this deck is okay to just do normal PGs. But if you are really like in the meta that full of Shiranui, full of Lure, full of guard restrictions, then yes, go for the Playstyle. Triggers. Story Key OT, it just basically great. Nothing much to say there, and the best combo with Genosla. If you actually pull that off, that usually can win you games. Nothing too much to say there. And then crit, using 7 crits. If you don't have the Soaring crit, it doesn't matter. So far I never put it into soul, so if you use the normal one, it's fine. And then I use draw triggers instead of front, because I think the draw power is actually quite important here. Even though we do have a lot of different cards to draw cards, I don't think it's enough. I always want to draw more cards, so I'm using the 10k draws, which also kind of slightly increasing the defense. And then for normal heals, heals are just normal heals will be enough. I don't think effect heals is needed in here, but if you prefer to use some of them, feel free to use them. Yeah, so overall, we do have 2 supports. Friendship Fairy is already like existed, and then support for the right line. The changes isn't like a lot, but then you have the luxury to reborn units a lot more efficiently. You kind of having a way to solve some of the problem, to find your Great Force so that you can actually use your Friendship Fairy. That's great. Yeah, I think the upgrade itself is great, but then I would like to see more. That is like, after playtesting it, against the hardest matchup. That's my kind of conclusion. It's still a very fun deck to play because it let me think a lot of things. Because we are doing 6 attacks, how you sequence it will be very important. For example, if you use the go to attack first and pop it out, then your Alpin will have less power. So there's a lot of things that you actually need to think. But if you are still like a Magnolia fan and you want to play with Elder, I think this will be something that you can try for. And the support is actually making the deck a lot easier to play. So give it a try. And if you have any questions, or if you have any thoughts, feel free to share in the comments down below. Subscribe for more deck profiles because there's more coming up. Deck fights, which again I'm trying to find a good moment to actually record those. So far, I don't get a good environment to do all that yet, but when I do, you will see them coming up. More unboxings. There will be more coming next month. We do have the premium set, so there's something new here. And then the month after will be my favorite Soga coming back, so can't wait to see what he does. Yeah, so I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.